All right. Hi, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me for this demo tonight. My name is Erin O'Brien. I am a consultant and team leader based in Druin in Victoria. But obviously, thanks to this wonderful virtual world, I am able to share all about the Thermomix and support my customers all over Australia, which I really love. So thanks so much for jumping on. I am running this virtual on behalf of my team tonight. And I'd love you to pop in the chat box and let me know what has brought you along tonight. Do you have a Thermomix? If you do, what model? What we're hoping to get out of tonight? Are you an owner that's hoping to learn more? Are you thinking about investing in a TM6? Pop it in the chat box and let me know. And perhaps where you're watching from as well. I'm always intrigued to know where everybody is from. So a little bit about myself before we get started. I joined as a consultant 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago now, nearly 4 years ago. I actually owned the TM5, the model before this one, for quite a few years before that. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. And one day I decided I needed to upgrade, but I didn't really want to pay for it. So I joined the team to earn my TM6, with the intention of just earning that and taking off with my free machine. But I loved it. I love being a part of the team and I loved sharing the Thermomix with everybody. So yeah, I'm still here 4 years later. What is the TM6? So it is a smart connected cooking appliance which connects into your Wi-Fi and gives you guided cooking through Cookidoo, our virtual recipe platform, which gives you access to over 90,000 recipes from all over the world through guided cooking. As this is a virtual demo tonight, obviously I have chosen the menu. We are going to make a red chicken curry with rice and roti. But obviously, you know, if you do want to see more, you want to learn more, you want to see specific recipes at any stage, please just let us know. We're here to help you and support you. And if there's specific things you want to see, we can absolutely organise your own demo as well. So I'd love to know, when it comes to the food you cook and eat, what is the most important thing to you? So there's a couple of ideas along here: healthy, simple, fast, creative, saving money. Pop it in the chat box and let me know. I know for me, I am a mum of 5 young kids, which you might hear tonight. Sorry about that. It's here in Sydney. We just had daylight savings tick over here, so the kids are not wanting to settle down to bed. So apologies in advance if they pop out to say hi. So for me, it's definitely healthy and fast. I like to know what is in the food that my kids are cooking, my kids are eating. I like to cut down on those additives and preservatives where I can. And I like to have dinner on the table as quickly as possible with as little hands-on time as possible. But yeah, have a little think about what is the most important thing to you. So the TM6 is an all-inclusive price of $2,579 and includes everything you see here. So the Thermomix itself, the bowl, blade and lid set, the Varoma, which is our steaming attachment. You will see that in action tonight. The simmering baskets, which can be used for like rice, potatoes, all kinds of different things. Some like protein you could cook in there as well. Your splash guard, which we use for the high heat mode. You get butterfly whisk, measuring cup, a spatula, and a hard copy of your basic cookbook. There is an incredible offer with purchase at the moment, but I'll go into all that detail a bit later. There are a few different ways to get a TM6 in your kitchen as well. My favourite one is to do what I did and join the team and earn one, but we do have a couple of finance options available through Zip Money and Hum as well, but I'll go into all that in more detail later. So we're going to get cooking straight away. Obviously, if you've got any questions at all while I'm cooking, feel free to even come off mute or just pop them in the chat box. I like to keep these demos nice and casual and ensure that I'm answering all of your questions. So you may have already seen, but the Thermomix has over 20 different modes and functions. So obviously that is way too much to cram into one demo. So we are just going to see a few things tonight. But again, if you've got questions about more or you want to see more, we can absolutely help with that as well. So I'm going to just spotlight over to my Thermomix. Hopefully you can see that okay. So this is the home screen of your TM6. So it's got your basic settings on the home screen of time, temperature and speed. And you can just tap that and change that if you needed to. And they're there if you want to cook anything in manual mode. So perhaps a recipe you found off the internet, or one that you, you know, an old family recipe that you want to cook in there yourself, you can do it there. But tonight we are going to use Cookie that recipe platform, which is guided cooking. So I'm going to go up into the 3 little dots in the top left-hand corner. And in there we have my week. So Cookie also gives you the ability to meal plan out. There's a drip of water running down the screen there. Meal plan out your meals for the week. You can even do your shopping list and grocery shopping on there. But yes, you can plan your meals, which I have done. So I'm just going to go into my week, and you'll see what we are cooking there. The roti and the red chicken curry. So I'm going to click the roti to start with. So there are a few different roti recipes on Cookie that are slightly different. This is quite a basic one, and you'll see that it's just for 2. We will have this for dinner tomorrow night, and I'll make some extra roti then, but just to make it nice and quick and easy tonight, I'm just doing the 2 servings, but there are all different size servings and a few different variations as well on Cookie. So from here, we can scroll down if we wanted to, you know, check that we've got all the ingredients, all the dietary information on the side. I like to check if there's any hints and tips that are relevant that I might like to cover. But otherwise, we're just going to hit start cooking. So into the bowl. So we've got our scales on the left-hand side here. So you're just going to weigh everything directly into your bowl. Saves on extra dishes and everything. So we're going to place in 125 grams of plain flour. And then just hit next. So it'll just keep on nexting through the recipe. 60 grams of water. And obviously it doesn't matter if it's a little bit over or a little bit under. It doesn't have to be completely accurate. I'm very much, like I said, I've had a Thermomix for a long time, so I very much a kind of a throw it in cook. 15 grams of sunflower oil and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to pop the lid on again. Next once more, and now it's got, so again, we're in guided cooking, so it's all set for us. So we've got 1 minute, and then we've got the wheat symbol here. I'm going to start it, and then I'll keep talking. So we're just going to turn the dial to start. So the wheat symbol is our dough mode. So it is kneading for us for that minute. When you're in guided cooking, it will automatically come up with different symbols that has selected the modes, the relevant modes for you. So 2 minutes of kneading in your Thermomix is equivalent to about 20 minutes of hand kneading. So I don't know about you, but I certainly don't have time to be hand kneading for 20 minutes. But it just ensures that we're getting really great results with very minimum hands-on time. So you can see the Thermomix moving around a little bit as it's kneading there. You can see that little wobble on it. I have got it on one of our glider boards, so it just helps protect, also helps keep it steady and protect the scales a little bit as well. Just 7 seconds to go there. So we're going to hit next again. So now it's going to walk us through all of the steps, even the ones that aren't specifically in the Thermomix. So now it's telling us to transfer the dough onto a silicone bread mat or floured work surface and shape into a ball. So I'm just going to turn you. Hopefully I don't make you motion sick here. So I've just got my silicone bread mat. These are available from the mix shop or as host rewards as well. So you can get a bundle as a host reward with an oven mat as well. They're really great products to use for doughs and stuff, and they don't stick. So you can see that that's kind of crumbled up a little bit now. We're just going to tip that onto the mat. Oops. Oh, sorry. Now I am making you motion sick. All right, so I'm just going to give the blades on the bottom just a little twist back and forth, and it just helps release all that dough out. Makes it nice and easy for us. Oh, sorry. I want to stay in there on that level. And then we're just going to shape it into a ball. So like I said before, I just chose the roti for 2. So I think it makes 4 pieces of roti this one. So obviously it's just a small ball. But we're just going to shape that into a ball. And then if we go back to our Thermomix, now it's just telling us to wrap it in the silicone bread mat or cover it with a plastic wrap if it's in a bowl, and rest it for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to literally just wrap it up in that bread mat and then just pop it aside for 10 minutes while we continue cooking. Right, I'm just going to switch bowls out, get a clean one. So I'm not sure if you've seen, but at the moment we do have a second bowl as part of our free gift with Thermomix purchase. So if you did purchase a Thermomix this month, you can get a free bowl and a set of our vacuum seal containers. A second bowl is a game changer with the Thermomix. So it is always a very popular deal. And the vacuum seal containers are excellent as well for helping prep and keep food fresh and all of those things. So I've swapped into a clean bowl, and now I'm actually just going to, so this recipe, like I said, will continue explaining every little step. So it's now telling us to divide it into 4 pieces and then roll it out and all of that. So you can keep going through that if that's all you're cooking. But for now, I'm going to go, there's 3 little dots next to the next symbol. I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to go to cancel recipe. It's just going to confirm that that is what I want to do, which it is, and take us back to our home screen. So from here, I'm going to go back up into my week again, and we're going to get our curry started. So this is our Thai red chicken curry and rice. So again, if you wanted to, you can have a scroll down. Again, check the hints and tips. The hints and tips just say that you can make your own red curry paste, which is amazing. I don't know if you make your own curry paste at all normally, but so easy to do and so cost effective. And the thing that I like, I'm not going to lie, we don't do spicy very well in our house at all. Well, me mainly. So by making curry paste and things like that, I can control the spice in them. So, you know, if you like spicy, you could have it extra spicy. If you don't like me, we can cut it right back. So I'm just going to move that back so you can see a little bit better. Sorry about the camera moving. So now it's just telling us to place a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid and weigh in 200 grams of jasmine rice. I have actually pre-done this step just so I could wash the rice and you weren't sitting around waiting for that. But essentially, you're just going to put any bowl on top of the Thermomix. And you're just using the Thermomix for its scales for this step. So put the bowl on the top, and then I'm just going to add in the rice. So the next step then is to rinse that rice until the water runs clear, and then cover it with boiling water and set aside. So I'll just cover that. So you'll see this recipe actually cooks everything at once. So this is part of like prepping, so if I'm going to steam up the camera, prepping the rice like this, and then we'll cook the rice at the same time as the curry, which is awesome to obviously save us time. So I'm just going to pop that bowl to the side for the time being while we keep going. So into our bowl now, we're going to take off the lid and we're going to put 80 to 100 grams of red curry paste in there. Like curries, is it something that you would eat at home or make? Or something you get as takeaway? I'm just going to put on the lower side because, like I said, I'm not very good at spicy. And then 60 grams of coconut milk. And now we're going to pop the lid on and just put our simmering basket on the top. And now we're going to give that a quick little saute. So again, because we're in guided cooking, it's got it all set for us and we just follow the instructions. So 2 minutes, 120 degrees, and speed 1. So at 120 degrees, it's just giving it like a little bit of a saute, like you would in a frying pan if you were making a curry. Like I said, any questions at all, just pop them in the chat box and I'll answer them as we are going. So while it's something is cooking like this, I don't know if you can see clearly, there is a preview button in the top right hand corner. So you can use that to have a look at the next couple of steps. So I always find this really, obviously I've prepped everything tonight because it's a demo, but when I'm doing dinner at home, I always find this really handy because then it saves me time. So I'm using this 2 minutes to perhaps, chop up my chicken or getting my bundt tin ready, all of those kind of things, so that then I'm ready for the next couple of steps. So then I'm just going to go home, go to that green step, and we'll be finished. So I will just grab my bundt tin. So these are kind of a newer product from the mix shop. I'll show you while that's finishing there. I don't know if you can hear that sizzling away. You probably can't because I've got my headphones in. So these are our rose gold bundt tins, and they're really great because they fit in the Varoma, and they're really quite, obviously it's impossible to see on Zoom, but they're quite lightweight. And so you can steam using the Varoma, which is what we're going to do. You can steam all kinds of things in them. So obviously we're doing a rice tonight, but you could actually do like a bread, a cake, like a pudding type thing, all kinds of delicious things. So we're going to go next. So now it's just telling us to drain that soaked rice and place it in the Varoma bundt tin. So I'm just going to do that over the sink, obviously. So I'm just going to next again. So now into our Thermomix bowl, bring that back closer again. We're going to place 340 grams of coconut milk, which will be just the rest of that tin. Some canned bamboo shoots. I don't have those, so I'm just going to leave them out for tonight. It's absolutely more than okay just to skip parts of recipes if you don't like them or you don't have them. It's not something you would eat normally, that kind of thing. You can just next on past that, and then we're going to put some lime leaves in as well. I'm just using some, just from a little jar tonight. So now we're going to place the lid back on and we're going to put the Varoma on. So like I said before, the Varoma is our steaming attachment, and how it works. Let's see if I can lift you up a little bit. Okay. So your lid of your Thermomix has like a little rim on the inside of it there. So your Varoma just sits on inside of that. So just snugly there. I'm set up a little bit differently tonight, and I'm just making sure that you can see everything properly. So then we put that up there, and then we're going to place the Varoma bundt in there. And just get the kettle, and into that 240 grams of boiling water. So just tearing the scales. A quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Hi, Jessie. Jessie is one of the consultants from my team who's just jumped on to watch along with us. And then we're going to put the lid on. So now it's got it set for us. So 12 minutes, Varoma, and speed soft. So just going to turn the turn the dial there to start that. So varoma temperature is not like a specific temperature itself. So what it is, sorry, I'm going to pull it forward so I can show you. What it does is it kind of works, the Thermomix is very smart. So it works out, depending on what you've got in your Thermomix bowl, what temperature it needs to get to create enough steam to heat the varoma. So obviously, like, you know, when you're using your varoma, you could have all kinds of different stuff in your Thermomix bowl. You could have just plain water. You could have like a meat sauce, like a pasta sauce. Obviously today we've got like the coconut milk and the curry paste and that. But yeah, you could have all kinds of different things. So obviously then that is going to take all kinds of different temperatures to get to that heat. Does that make sense? So by putting it on varoma, your Thermomix is going to very cleverly work all that out for you. All right, while that is doing that, we're going to come back to our roti. Let's turn you around again. Sorry, I hope you don't mind all this moving. It's just the easiest way to get nice and close and be able to see everything properly. So, like I said before, the recipe, if you wanted to, you could actually, I'm really sorry, I'm going to go back again. While it's cooking, even while we're cooking the curry, we can go out of this recipe. We can go back into my week where we saw the original roti recipe, and we can scroll down and read those steps there. Obviously, like, I have made the roti too many times to count. But, you know, if I wasn't sure of the next couple of steps, even while I'm cooking the curry, I can pop back here and read it. So it does say to divide it into 4 equal pieces, approximately 50 grams each. You could do less or more if you wanted to. Like, if you want a nice big roti, feel free to break it into. If you want tiny little ones for kids or anything, you could do 6. It's completely up to you. And then you want to use a rolling pin to make a thin circle, and then heat your frying pan. So, like I said, yeah, it all is there for you if you want to access it. So what I'm going to do, the only thing you need to make sure when you're using silicone bread mats, like I said, they are amazing. My holder does not want to play nicely tonight, does it? They're amazing, but you can't use knives on it. So you will ruin it if you slice into it with a knife. So I just use my spatula. You can get a dough cutter from the mix shop as well, but your spatula works perfectly. So you just use that to, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Just use that to divide it into the pieces you would like. I'm really not winning here, am I, with this thing? It's not liking being on the angle down tonight. So dividing them into 4, and then I like to just roll it back into a bit of a circle. Makes it easier, but whatever you like. And then you're going to grab your rolling pin. I love the bread mats as well because they do have the little markers which make it nice and easy to roll out a semi-decent circle. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. But you just want to work that into a circle. It doesn't need to be perfect by any means. I'm usually doing mine in quite a hurry, so it's far from perfect. But I find a really good way to work out the thickness on this. So one of the girls in my team taught me this actually. The great thing about being part of the team is learning from each other. But one of the girls taught me that when you can see the lines through the dough, then that's a really great thickness. So you probably can't see from that angle, but I can see them there now. So I'm just going to peel that off, and you'll see I haven't floured this mat at all, but the dough just peels straight off. And I'm going to pop that in the frying pan. So you just want to give them a light fry, and it'll start to bubble up. Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry about this. It'll start to bubble up. Once it's bubbled up a little bit, you can turn it over. And then the same, once it bubbles up a bit, you'll have some little brown dots on it. And then you want to turn it over one more time and then flatten any bubbles out, and then you are done. Do you make roti with your Thermomix, Jessie? Drop it in the chat box and let me know. Or any other similar wraps or naan, those kind of things. Put that one in as well. We make all kinds of, the kneading mode on our TM6 is probably one of the most used ones in our house. School is back tomorrow for us, so I have been busy this weekend making lots of school snacks, but my little ones love things like cheese and bacon rolls and savoury scrolls. And we also make some mini hot dogs, but we do love pizzas. There's so many different things you can use the kneading bread for. Pita bread, yeah, delicious. All right. I needed to heat my frying pan a little bit earlier, so that is just going to take a couple of minutes. Any questions at all, pop them in the chat box. Let me know. So like I said before, at the moment, with TM6 purchase, you get a second bowl set. So they're worth $395, and you do get a set of our vacuum seal containers, which are, for great for meal prepping, keeping your fruit and your veggies, herbs, all those kind of things nice and fresh for much longer. Saves you throwing out things and saves you money, lots of money that way. Yeah, garlic to the roti. Yes, agreed. There's a really nice recipe as well. I think it's a cheese and garlic naan, which is delicious. Probably not, an everyday kind of food, but it's worth it. They are starting to heat up a little bit more. We've got a few minutes left on our sauce and rice. Yes, same. Completely agree there. I would as well. It's the only thing when you can make such amazing food so easily at home, isn't it? The only downside. All right, so there is our first roti. So we are just going to give that a little brush with some ghee. Sorry. It's never enough bench space. Don't want to see the rest of my bench off camera. So I'm not sure if you think that was easier or harder than what you expect, but yeah, super quick and easy to make a really delicious side like roti. Very little hands-on time. I think that's what a lot of people worry, that it's going to take them a long time, but it really does not. And you've got this cook time while your curry is cooking to pop them on. If you didn't want roti, this hands-free time is something we talk about a lot with our Thermomix, because hands-free time obviously gives you more time back in your day. So you can spend it outside in the garden with the kids, doing the laundry, having a glass of wine, whatever you want, but you're not stuck in the kitchen you know, making that curry, giving it a stir because the Thermomix is stirring as it goes. All right, so I've got one of our thermo servers here that I'm going to put the roti in that will keep it nice and hot for us while we finish everything off. Again, the thermo servers are one of our host rewards. They're one of our most popular host rewards. So if you are interested in getting one, hosting your own virtual demo, perhaps, we can definitely help out with that. You can host as many demos as you want to get all of our amazing host rewards if you want. It really helps you learn so much more and get the most out of your Thermomix as well, which is great. All right, while that's finished, I'm just going to move you back to the Thermomix because they're pretty much finished with that roti. I'm just going to finish off the last two, which you don't really need to see. Sorry, I'm just going to get this right for you. Absolutely, yeah. So obviously it would depend on what you were cooking, but at any stage you can, like I can stop this now if I needed to just by pressing the dial and it'll stop. The machine does turn off after 15 minutes of being idle, but the way I get around this, because I'm much the same with the kids, we do have a timer function on it as well. So you can set a timer, which will stop it turning off. So it means that you can come back, you know, if you get stuck with the kids, you come back in 20 minutes and it will still be there where you left off. Or even if for some reason you forget to set the timer and the Thermomix shuts down after that 15 minutes, when you turn it back on, it will just ask you if you want to resume the recipe. So you just pick up where you left off, and that's completely fine. Did that answer that question? I hope so. Anyway, those 37 seconds we can move on from. We don't have to wait for that. So now it's telling us to set the varoma aside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move back further so I can show you something. So obviously when you your varoma, you can see from the steam there, it does get very hot when you're opening it. You want to make sure you are opening it away from you, so you're not giving yourself a little facial there. And then what I do when I'm just setting it aside like this, the top of your lid has a flat spot. So the rest of your varoma just sits directly in there. So that just stops you getting steam all over the bench. You can leave the lid on for this step, but I just take it off quickly because then I'm not making a mess on the bench. All right, so now it's telling us to set the varoma aside and then place into the bowl 600 grams of chicken thigh fillets cut into thirds. I'm just going to flip those last two really quickly. I'm using chicken breast, just personal preference. The only thing you need to make sure if you're using chicken breast instead of thigh is that you perhaps cut it just a little bit bigger. It does break down a little bit easier. And then we're just going to put the varoma back on. So popping the lid back on, popping it back on the top. "12 minutes, varoma, speed 2. Right. Just reading the comments. Yes, same, Jessie. I actually, I didn't use a timer for a long time because I didn't really think about it, to be honest. It just wasn't something that was registering for me. I think it's only a relatively newer feature. I'm just sputtering the last two roti quickly while I talk. It's a relatively newer feature, so I wasn't used to it for a long time, so I didn't probably get the most out of it. But now I've kind of got my head, you know, to use it properly. I love it as well. All right, last one in there. All right, so while we're on our last main cooking time for our curry, I'm just going to finish off our flip chart and go through the last few things. And then it will all be just about finished and we'll be nearly ready to plate up. Let's quick one tonight. So back to me. So I have got my 4 roti in there ready to go afterwards. But yes, back to this for now. So yeah, like I said before, there are over 20 different modes and functions, and obviously we're only able to see just a few in this short time tonight. But again, if you are interested in seeing more, learning more, we are here to help with that. So we talked a little bit about Cookie Dough already tonight, but it is that virtual recipe platform. There are so many different features to Cookie Dough, and it is hard to cover it again in a quick virtual. But you are welcome to sign up and do a 30-day free trial at any stage if you want to have a look at it and make sure there are recipes that suit you and your family. You can have a bit of a play creating folders for your recipes. You can have a bit of a play making a meal plan for the week. You could even try doing your groceries on there if you wanted to. So you can do a 30-day free trial at any stage. And obviously, while you're doing that, if you need a hand with it, then we are here to help with that. You do get 3 months free subscription to Cookie Dough with your Thermomix as well. So you get to really start using it, making sure you are getting the features of it. And then it is $89 a year after that. So it works out to be about $1.72 a week, and it includes all of those 90,000 plus recipes from all over the world, which is growing all the time as well. I think when I first joined the team, it was about 60,000. And they are all triple tested recipes as well. So you're going to have great success in them every time. It also includes any software updates and new modes. So you might have seen things like the cutter or the sensor. Has been heaps since I've started. Any new modes that are developed by Vorwerk and Thermomix, when you have an active Cookie Dough subscription, it updates a bit like your mobile phone would. So you'll turn it on in the morning and it'll tell you that there's an update available. And you can either do it then or later, but yeah, then your new modes and updates will come across with that as well. We do also have Cookie Dough now very recently as part of our host reward collection. So you do have the ability to host a demo, a virtual or in-home every 12 months and get your Cookie Dough subscription free or really cheap as well. So that is also another really great option to keep your Cookie Dough up and pay far less than $89 a year as well. Like I have covered again a few times already, but I obviously picked out recipes for tonight. But if you want to see specific recipes, we can certainly do your own demo and work together to pick a menu that would suit you better. So on that note, if you do, we've talked about it, but when you host your own demo, we can tailor it to your likes, your dislikes, your allergies, intolerances, all of those things. You can grab a host reward with your demo. At the moment, we do have until the end of this month a bonus host reward. So it's not something that is offered very often at all. But if you host a demo this month or until sold out, and one of your guest purchases a Thermomix from your demo, you will get your choice of standard host rewards plus a free sensor, which is a Bluetooth enabled thermometer, cooking thermometer that connects to your Thermomix and connects to your an app on your phone. I love my sensor, but they're worth $249 and you can get one for free as a bonus host reward this month. So have a little think about who in your network might be interested in seeing the TM6 in action. We would love to do a demo for you, and it's okay if they already own Thermomix. We do need at least one non-owner there, but it's absolutely okay for owners to come along and learn more, all about helping them get the most out, everyone get the most out of their Thermomix. So they are very welcome to come too. So when you do purchase your Thermomix, you essentially get your consultant with it. So we are there to help you with whatever you need. So everybody's journey looks very different, but we are very passionate about helping you get the most out of your Thermomix. We know that it's a big investment and we want you to love it as much as we do. So with whatever that means for you, we are here. So we can deliver, we can unbox it together. We can get cooking your stock paste, get set up together, and then do as many demos as you like to get the most out of it and collect all those host rewards. Our team also run lots of virtual demos like this, but classes and events as well. So we do a class every month to invite all of our customers along to. This month we are doing a low carb one, but we change the theme all the time. So hopefully there is something that interests you. And we do have a class for new owners as well, just to help you get that right off the next the best foot. When you do purchase your Thermomix, we do really encourage you to do a delivery demo as well. So like I said, that could be absolutely virtual, but it really just helps you really get off on off to a great start. I think, as I'm sure Jesse would agree, and most consultants would agree, but the most important thing I think when you get a Thermomix is to have a really good start to using it. Once you have a great start and really great support, you will love your Thermomix and you will get the most out of it. And that is, yeah, what the main aim is. So thinking back to what we were talking about at the start and what appeals most to you when it comes to the food you cook and eat. So healthy, simple, fast, creative, saving money. I'd love you to have a little think about whether you think that a Thermomix could help with those things for you. So pop in the chat box. My husband's watching the rugby final, getting excited over here. Pop it in the chat box, or yeah, just have a little think about. Do you think that it could help you save some time in the kitchen? Do you think that it could help you to eat healthier, be a bit more creative, perhaps save some money? So like I said, there are a few different ways to get the TM6 in your kitchen. It is an all-inclusive price of $2,579, but you can join our team and earn your TM6. So when you do that, your first 6 sales in your first 60 days as a consultant essentially pay for your Thermomix. After you make 6 sales, your deposit is fully refunded and your Thermomix is yours to keep. We do have 24 months interest-free through Zip Money. We do have Hum Finance, and we do also have an easy free option, which is like a take-home lay-by. We have Afterpay and obviously a one-off payment option as well. There are too many options to go through in full detail now, but if you would like more info on any of those, just reach out and let me know and I can send it through for you. But the average family can save up to $40 to $60 off their weekly grocery bill with a Thermomix in the kitchen. If you think about things that you are buying now that you could make with your Thermomix, things like yogurt, for example, is a huge money saver, especially for families. Snacks for the kids, takeaway when you those really busy nights where you might otherwise jump to takeaway, you can have a meal on the table in under half an hour. Breads, sauces, staples like butter and mayo, the list goes on and on. So that is pretty much us covered for tonight. We have talked about the offer with purchase and host rewards. I think that's it, unless you have any specific questions. Jeanette is a couple of minutes away. You will receive a link, hopefully, to do a quick survey afterwards, and I would love you to do that if you don't mind. And if you have any feedback for me at all, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, love to hear that. We do also have, I'm not sure if you've seen our My Mix Rewards program, which has just recently been launched. That is a new loyalty program that is for customers and anybody really that loves the Mix Shop. The Mix Shop is like a kind of kitchenware shop full of amazing things, but I'm not going to lie, it can be a bit addictive. But if you sign up to that, you can get a $15 Mix Shop voucher just as a sign-up bonus. So if there's anything you got your eyes on there. Oh, no worries. I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. I'm sorry the others didn't come. I hope that didn't bother you too much, but that's okay. I've got dinner. You've got to see it in action. It's been nice and easy. If you do have any questions, pop them in the chat box, but I'll go back to the Thermomix while it's finishing. I think there's, one more super quick step and then it's all done. Have you been to a demo before or seen it? Or are you just starting to have a bit of a look? Yeah, cool. It's really great that there's so many different options to see it, from the comfort of your home or have a demo or all of those different things, isn't it? So easy now. Right, I'm going to be a bit impatient and just stop that because I've used chicken breast, so it should take less time to cook anyway. It does have a cool down feature as a bit of a safety feature. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's just a 15-second cool down there. And while that's doing its thing, the arms are locked in place, so you can't take the lid off. So just an extra. There are lots of different safety features with the TM6, and that is one of them. So just telling us to set the varoma aside, and then put in 30 grams of palm sugar or light brown sugar. I'm just using brown to get the lid off, might help. Two tablespoons of fish sauce. Just going to shake that in. Like I said, I'm not very good at measuring. 100 grams of frozen peas. So we do have those scales there. So we're just kind of watching that. I do cheat a little bit on demos and measure it all out to make it nice and quick. But the scales are there to watch as we're doing it. So then 100 to 200 grams of broccoli. And then we're just going to pop the varoma back on, and we've got one more little cook time. I'll show you a couple of little different things on the Thermomix while it's cooking to make the most of that. So 3 minutes this time, varoma temperature and speed 1. So let me just clean that out. So I'll bring it closer. So I generally do a bit of both when it comes to cleaning. Sometimes for a curry, for example, I would probably put it in the dishwasher. Everything's dishwasher safe except the actual Thermomix. So I generally put that in the dishwasher just so that it gets a nice clean, nice hot clean, and I'm not being left with any, like that curry smell or anything like that. But if I'm like baking or doing anything, more kind of, without the smells probably the thing that makes me throw it in the dishwasher. Then I definitely use the pre-clean function. It depends. There is a express clean option, which is only a minute. But then I think they vary from like 3 to 4. There is a clean option that's called browning, and that is because the TM6 gets to such high temperature and really mimics a frying pan. When you do cook at high heat, sometimes you can get a bit of browning on the bottom of the bowl. So the browning pre-clean takes that into account and soaks it for a little bit first. So I think that one takes about 10 minutes. But I very rarely use that. It's only if there's something, like a little bit burnt or brown on the bottom. And it's just, soaking it and then heating the water and giving it a clean. But the others are only a couple of minutes each, the other cleaning. So if I scroll across to if I go back to the home screen, even while it's cooking, I can scroll across to the right and bring up all of our different modes and functions. So like I was saying before, they are being added to or updated all of the time. The sensor is one of the new ones. Grating and slicing go with our new cutter if you've seen that. And then you've got, like the cleaning one we were talking about, egg boiler, thickening, rice cooker, fermentation, which is what you use for yogurt and that kind of thing. And then if we scroll back to the home screen and then back the opposite way, we bring up Cookie Do. So Cookie Do is fully integrated on the app on your phone, on the web page if you're on a computer, and the Thermomix itself. So as long as you're logged in on all of them, they all talk to each other in real time, essentially. So if I'm using the app on my phone and meal planning out, as soon as I open it on the Thermomix, it will come up there, what I've just done on my phone. Does that make sense? So you can use it just like the app. You can search the search bar, or you can scroll down and have a look at the different feature recipes, the newest recipes, and all of those kind of things are there as well. So you can do that while you're cooking. If you wanted to plan out for a dessert or something like that while your curry's cooking away, you can have a search of Cookie Do there at the same time. So that is done. So now it's just telling us to transfer the curry to a thermal server bowl, which is the thermoservers that we used earlier, and discard the lime leaves. So I'm just going to move that back there. The thermoservers keep food hot for up to 2 hours and cold for about the same as well. So they're amazing. To be honest, if I was serving this up for dinner now, I would just serve it up from the Thermomix bowl. I wouldn't bother putting it in a thermoserver, but it's totally up to you. But that is our rice. I'll show you. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but beautifully cooked there. I'm just going to move it out of the way, or I'm going to end up slopping the curry all over the bench. And try and gently tilt. That is the curry as well. So what I'll just do is dish up a little bit. I think it's easy to forget on these virtuals, but so much of, because I'm talking and doing other things, but so much of it is the hands-free time, especially you mentioned that you have a family. So especially with kids, I find the hands-free time is the biggest draw card for me, and the thing I couldn't live without the most. Yeah, I think it's easy to not realize when you're on these demos. Oops, slipped. But there we go. That is our, it does look good, doesn't it? It smells amazing. Yes, so you know how I mentioned earlier that you get the basic cookbook with your Thermomix? So the basic cookbook recipes, I'm not sure exactly how many it is, sorry, off the top of my head, but the basic cookbook recipes are preloaded onto Cookie-Doo. So even if you didn't have an active subscription, those ones would all be on there. And they're probably some of our best recipes, if I'm being honest. But yes, otherwise you would do manual cooking. And they're like, now is thousands and thousands of recipes on the internet. So like, I love Cookie-Doo, I love guided cooking, but it's certainly, there are so many recipes out there now that you can cook manually as well if you chose not to have that or didn't have it for a short period or any of those things. So there we go. That is our Thai red chicken curry and rice with some roti as well. Does look delicious. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching along tonight. I really appreciate you coming and staying on. Sorry it was just you, but I hope it's been helpful for you.